whip cracking their way into the Grand Theatre on the 9th through to the 13th of September. It is the cast of Calamity Jane bringing this amazing musical to life. There, Wild Bill Hickok, Vinny Coyle is with me now. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, mate. How are you? All right.
All good here and rocking the facial hair, which is a requirement for your role.
Oh, tell me about it. Right. It's one of those things. It was a part of the process, I suppose. I've had a beard for a few years now, which has worked for my casting, and it's always a process of sort of elimination on a job. Does it work? Does it not? But actually, it's quite nice for this one because it keeps my wife happy as well, which is lovely. So
Works every time. But I suppose it's easier to have the beard and remove it when required rather than trying desperately to grow one with biotin supplements and everything else going on.
100%. And you'd be amazed as well the amount of auditions where they require you to come in without facial hair or that kind of stuff. So it is pretty tricky sometimes, especially it's easy when you're in a show, obviously, because you have to have a certain look. But when you're sort of, or in audition season, as they call it, it is tricky because there's so many looks that you have to kind of, fall into. But it's quite nice, when you're sort of settled, and it's nice for me to sort of keep it maintained because it's a look that I enjoy as well, which is lovely. So
Have you not considered stage left beard, stage right no beard, and turn your head round for the different
it
part?
would be much easier for some things. I can tell you that. Young Vin, old Vin is what I call it. But it's also amazing at how much it ages you. Like having facial hair is I first had facial hair on a job when I did Cinderella, and it just seemed to sort of mature me in terms of sort of bring me into my casting type, which was quite nice. So, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I feel so young when I don't have a beard now. I shaved it off for my wife. She's a bit, she's weirded out by it. I think she sort of looks at me and she's like, "Who's that strange man that I'm kind of that I'm looking at opposite me?" Bless her.
Yeah, well, let's leave the facial fuzz and get on to the
Yeah,
amazing show. Because Calamity Jane is an absolutely awesome musical. I know tickets are selling wonderfully well, and your Calamity Jane is an absolute star, isn't she?
she is indeed. Yeah, we've been friends for Christ, nearly 7 years. I think it's one of it's a beautiful. It's just lovely to have her on stage, and
Yeah,
the,
but
the
we've got to
sort
say
of
Carrie Hope Fletcher is the important thing here. If you haven't
it
checked
is.
us to the casting, because
It is. Yeah.
amazingly talented, somebody who it must be a joy to play opposite.
It really is, and it's really strange because Carrie is Carrie, obviously in the public eye, which is and through her incredible hard work and incredible talent. But it's first and foremost, she's a very good friend of mine, and it's lovely to have that trust. And on stage, when you look at the person next to you, especially with these characters when they're so closely entwined, um, to look at whether we're having a good day, whether we're having a bad day, something's happened off stage or whatever. We've got the trust of each other, and it's lovely. It really, really is. It's epic.
But does she enjoy the insults?
She doesn't get a choice in this one, I'm afraid. I'm quite lucky. I just get to throw them for free, really. But no, the banter's, it's a great show in terms of that banter between the two of us, and there's a real fine line between me being a bit of a bully, which I never wanted to be, and playing that, with the fun of the two characters, which are such epic characters to play.
And epic characters, amazing songs, and wonderful choreography too. I mean, this
Yeah,
show, it's demanding, isn't it?
it really, really is, and it's one of those jobs when there was a few things that I didn't expect on this job. One was to dance so hard, which is with the beautiful choreography of Nick Winston, our choreographer and co-director, which is amazing to do every night and so uplifting. But also play the guitar, which when I auditioned for the job was was not solely something that I expected to be doing as Wild Bill Hickok. So it was I'd never played guitar before, so it was one of those things that it was quite nice to pick up on
Well,
roots. And
would never played the guitar before, but was it on your spotlight listing of things you could do?
absolutely not, absolutely not, absolutely. I wish I had a story to say it was, but no, it was one of those things. It was a during the rehearsal process, which was pretty quick for this. They basically said, would I be willing to learn? And I said yes.
It's just
And
choreography of the fingers, isn't it? That's what it is.
basically, it's once you learn it, it's intuitive. It kind of is, and I really find it quite therapeutic as well to kind of finish your show and have a little bit of a noodle, and also pick up another skill, I suppose, and it gives you a real good understanding and respect for the people that are really good at it.
So does
And we
this mean we got an album of cover versions by Christmas?
But you might have, you might have. Keep tuned, stay tuned, as they say, for the covers of the country covers of Vinny Coyle.
I think that sounds amazing. I expect to see that on Spotify before you know it. So, great show, great dancing. We've covered that bit off. The script's awesome.
Yeah,
What is the not to like? I can't think of anything. The
I
fact
think
it
to be
ends after a while. That's the worst bit, isn't
well,
it?
that's and the lucky thing for us on this show is that it's a good length show because it keeps you engaged for long enough. I think it's the first act is an hour, the second act is 45 minutes, so it's snappy as well. So that as whip cracking fun, I suppose, using the terminology of the show. But it's one of those things that I think there's something for everybody. Whether you like westerns, whether you like comedy, whether you like proper MT, golden age of musical theatre, Doris Day, Howard Keel,
Mhm.
whatever there is for you. There's something in this show for everybody.
Mhm.
And it shows in the generations and the audiences that we've had in since the beginning, which has been amazing.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact it's a big film based on real people, and you've got all of that to contend with. But this really is going to bring every single moment. You don't need to have seen the film, you don't need to have read the history books. This is all there for you on a plate.
Yeah, it is, and that going back, we looked at rehearsals quite a lot. I was very lucky actually. Just before the job, total coincidence, I was in America for a family wedding, and I actually stumbled across where Wild Bill Hickok was born, in a tiny little town in America, and it's still very much like it was back in the sort of late 1800s, and it was just an amazing place to be, like an amazing place to be, like people still pulling up their horses and stuff and tying them up at the side of the road, and it was pretty epic, and the two characters or people, should I say, the story and their history is amazing. Like from when they first met to how Calamity was buried, it's pretty pretty epic.
And which bit of the set or any of the props are you going to steal at the end of this to remind you of this amazing show?
That's a great question. I think, I mean, I do love my guitar. I do love my guitar. I think they'd notice if that disappears. I think the two things that I will really, really miss: the cowboy hat. I love my hats. Like it's become an extension of me as a character as Wild Bill Hickok, and also my cowboy boots. My cowboy boots are like they're proper nice cowboy, lush cowboy boots. So
Well, the number of shows you've done now, nobody else is going to want those boots, so you can probably take those with you,
that's very, very true. I mean,
and they follow you.
they are battered. They are absolutely battered. So within an inch of their life, they've had about 400 different soles on. They're tried and trusted, and they're very comfy. So I'd recommend anybody that fancies a cowboy boot try it out because it's perfect for all things: dancing, jumping off chairs, jumping off pianos, playing guitar, you name it, you can do it in them.
Yeah, rocking the look, enjoying the moment, and having a great time with your boots on. And that's going to be a fantastic run of shows. 9th through to the 13th of September, Calamity Jane at the Grand. You've got to get in quick to get your tickets because they are selling so fast. 01902 429212 is the box office number, grandtheatre.co.uk to grab your tickets. And you can see Vinny Coyle, Kelly Hope Fletcher, and the rest of the absolutely amazing cast doing their things, strutting the stuff, whip cracking away, and having a brilliant time with it. Vinny Coyle, thank you for joining us, sir.
What a pleasure.